And this is just another day in your high school life. You attend boring classes, hang out with your friends, and then perhaps grab chicken and cola later before attending night classes. So ordinary yet blissful, right? But that bliss turns to terror when you realize your school has suddenly become the ground zero for a zombie virus outbreak. And now, your goal is to not get bitten by these gurgling undead creatures and to escape this hell of a school. That's basically the television series All of Us Are Dead in a nutshell. Based on the webtoon written by Ju Dong-eun, this horror series shows how a group of students do their best to survive the zombie nightmare that has unexpectedly plagued the city. It all starts in Hyosan High School, where a student named Hyeon-ju gets bitten by a seemingly rabid hamster. The first to see her is the science teacher, Byeong-chan, who immediately ties her up inside the laboratory because he knows what will happen if he allows her to go. He injects some medication into Hyeon-ju to slow down her infection, but it seems useless as she's slowly turning into something horrifying. Hyeon-ju eventually escapes and runs inside a classroom. Despite her delirium and biting tendencies, she manages to tell the teacher, Sun-hwa, that it's Byeong-chan who did this to her. Immediately, Byeong-chan is arrested and Hyun-ju is sent to the hospital. The thing is, Hyun-ju had bitten the school nurse before she got sent away. And now, before the school nurse realizes what's happening, she's slowly turning into a zombie with an appetite for human flesh. She bites a student, who in turn bites another student, and they both chase other students to feed on. This triggers a viral outbreak within the school. What's horrifying about this is the short incubation period, or the time between getting infected and the symptoms appearing. It only takes a couple of minutes, or even seconds, before the victim starts having nosebleeds, red eyes, and seizures. Then the final stage is when they get consumed by an overwhelming desire to eat human flesh. The terrified students have little to no time processing what's happening. This, coupled with their initial panic, has greatly contributed to the rapid outbreak of the virus. One of the heavily hit areas in the school is the cafeteria, since the outbreak conveniently happened during lunchtime. Cheong-san and An-jo manage to escape from the cafeteria and return to their classroom, where several of their classmates have taken shelter. Then Su-hyeok and Nam-ra enter the room through the windows after escaping a zombie teacher on the ground. They try to rationalize what's happening, and the only thing that makes sense is that a zombie outbreak has happened. They try to call the emergency hotline to rescue them from the zombies. At first, the operator doesn't believe the call. Zombies, really. But he changes his mind when more calls come in, telling the same story. As it happens, Hyun-ju, who was sent to the hospital, has bitten a nurse, which leads to a citywide infection. Back in the school, Cheong-san and the others devise a plan to descend to the lower floors using a makeshift ladder out of a fire hose. They find their teacher, Sun-hwan, inside the broadcasting room, and they all descend there to reunite with her. Cheong-san's best friend Gyeong-su gets scratched by a zombie. Nayeon believes he's infected despite not showing any symptoms. Gyeong-su and Nayeon don't get along really well, and Nayeon didn't like how the others forced her to apologize to him. So she decides to infect Gyeong-su with her handkerchief drenched in zombie blood. Gyeong-su turns into a zombie right away, and Cheong-su has no choice but to lure his best friend to jump out of the window, saving them all. Nayeon rubs it in on all of them that she was right about Gyeong-su. But Nam-ra has seen what Nayeon has done, and she reveals it to everyone. The group condemns Nayeon for being a murderer, which causes her to storm out. Sun-hwa follows her. There are also other survivors in the school. Ha-ri and Min-jae from the archery team take refuge inside the restroom together with Jun-seong and Mi-jin. Ha-ri is worried about her brother, so she decides to look for him. The others reluctantly follow. The school bully Gwi-nam has remained inside the cafeteria, but he also manages to get out. He runs inside the principal's office to hide. Outside the school, the zombies continue to infect and feed on the remaining humans. Because of this, Soju, a firefighter captain and An-jo's father, gets trapped inside a government building along with his crew and some officials. He manages to contact a rescue team to get the officials out of this place. The central government, upon learning about the outbreak in Hyosan, has mobilized the military force to contain the situation. Commander Jin leads the operation. He declares martial law in Hyosan and initiates the evacuation of the survivors. In the police station, Officer Jae-ik interrogates Byeong-chan. There, it's revealed that Byeong-chan created the virus he calls the Jonas virus. He's done this to help his son Jin-soo fight back against his bullies. But this never helped, as Jin-soo only succumbed to the virus, and he even infected his mother. Byeong-chan continued to search for a cure using hamsters as his test subjects. And, as we all have seen, one of the hamsters bit Hyun-ju, which started this epidemic. The interrogation is disrupted when the police station gets invaded by the zombies. Byeong-chan sacrifices himself as he tells Jae-ik that the research for the cure is in his laptop, which is inside the Hyosan High School science lab. Jae-ik runs away from the station together with rookie officer Ho-chul. They're headed for the school, but it's not an easy task, as the streets are swarming with the undead. In the end, they take refuge inside a chicken shop, where they rescue a newborn baby and a little girl. Back at the school, Cheong-san and Su-hyeok try to retrieve a smartphone from the staff room. Unfortunately, they get separated. Su-hyeok returns to his group alone, while Cheong-san hides inside the principal's office. There, he witnesses Gwi-nam killing the principal. Cheong-san flees as Gwi-nam pursues him. They end in the library, where they fight atop the bookshelves while zombies try to grab them. In the end, Cheong-san gouges Gwi-nam's eye before pushing him to the zombies. He sees Gwi-nam get devoured by the undead before escaping the library. After safely hiding inside a wall cavity, Cheong-san uses the phone to call the emergency hotlines, but he sees that the signal is dead. This is also what Hari and the others find when they reach the clinic to use the internet. It turns out some survivors, most notably the vlogger named Aaron Gibberish, have posted content on social media, furthering the terror of the zombie outbreak and spreading misinformation. To mitigate the public panic and control information, Commander Jin orders all phone signals and internet connections to be severed. Completely cut off from the rest of the world, Hari realizes the only way to know if her brother is safe is to actually look for him. Min-jae suggests they should go to the gymnasium, where they can get more arrows, plus there's an emergency phone there that they can use. Hari and Min-jae have been keeping the zombies at bay using their archery skills, but soon they'll run out of arrows if they don't restock. Jun-seong wants to stay in the clinic as they're safe there, but Mi-jin bullies him to come with them. With much effort, they manage to cross from the building where the clinic is to the gymnasium. However, Jun-seong gets stabbed, and Mi-jin has to tow him away using a trolley. Meanwhile, using a drone, An-jo and the others discover that Cheong-san has taken refuge inside the music room. After broadcasting music all over the school to distract the zombies, the group runs out to meet Cheong-san. Gwi-nam, who interestingly is still alive and has retained his human consciousness even after getting bitten, pursues the group. He attacks Su-hyeok and bites Nam-ra, but the two manage to push Gwi-nam out of the window. The group reunites with Cheong-san inside the music room. There, they discover that Nam-ra has been bitten by Gwi-nam. Cheong-san, who saw that Gwi-nam has been bitten by the zombies, insists that Nam-ra is infected. However, they don't see her exhibiting the usual symptoms. An-jo proposes that perhaps Gwi-nam and Nam-ra are somehow immune to the virus. They retain their consciousness, but they still feel an appetite for human flesh. Dae-soo, one of the survivors, coins the term halfbie to refer to them. The students decide to go to the school rooftop where they can have a better chance of being rescued. Despite the dangers of getting mobbed by a horde of zombies, the group manages to reach the door to the rooftop only to find it locked. They try to fend off the zombies as much as they can, but they're about to get overwhelmed, especially with Gwi-nam, who is still alive after that fall, attacking them. Several floors below, a student named Yoon-ji sets the staff room on fire. She used to be Gwi-nam's bully victim, and she had developed apathy after not getting the help or support she needed. She's been bitten, but somehow she hasn't turned yet. She smiles viciously as the flames engulf the room. After that, she leaves the school. The automatic sprinkler activates, and in turn, it opens all the doors in the school, including the door to the rooftop. Everyone rushes through, and Cheong-san locks the door to keep Gwi-nam out. Much to everyone's dismay, a helicopter has just left the rooftop after rescuing a lone student named Cheol-soo. The group has no choice but to wait there for the next rescue. Outside of the school, Jae-ik and Ho-chul escape the chicken restaurant together with the children. Along the way, they find another survivor, Aaron Gibberish. Later, they all get rescued by the military, together with the Hyosan student Yoon-ji, who hides the fact that she's been bitten. Jae-ik informs the military about his conversation with Byeong-chan and the laptop that contains the research for the cure. Commander Jin mobilizes a retrieval team to get the laptop. Elsewhere, Soju and his group have been evacuated, but they're put under strict quarantine. Soju is worried about his daughter, An-jo. Despite the strict measures, Soju escapes the encampment to rescue his daughter. By the way, do you still remember Naeon, who infected Gyeong-soo with her zombie handkerchief? She's still alive. She's taken refuge inside the storage of the music room, where she overheard the survivors. Unfortunately for the teacher Sun-hwa, she sacrificed herself to keep Naeon safe. Her last words to Naeon: do at least one thing to help them and let them know you're sorry. Her time alone has allowed Naeon to realize her mistakes. Since there is food in the storage room, she plans to follow them to the rooftop and give them snacks as her peace offering. Sadly, just when she's had a change of heart, she meets Gwi-nam, who bites her for his meal. On the school's rooftop, the students are relieved to see a rescue helicopter coming for them. The soldiers tell them they have to retrieve an important item, and then they're going to rescue them. But things don't go to plan. The soldiers have the laptop, but they receive new orders from their commander due to an unexpected problem. Inside the encampment, Yoonji has gone berserk. They manage to restrain her and prevent further infections. And in turn, this leads to the conclusion that some people may be asymptomatic like her. The commander orders the soldiers to leave the surviving students behind, as he doesn't want to endanger the survivors inside the encampment. An-jo and the others are greatly dismayed. She's starting to lose faith in adults who are supposed to help them. Later, a loud thunderstorm begins. The students realize the loud sounds and the smell of rain distract the zombies. They take this chance to make their way to the ground floor and reunite with Hari's group inside the gymnasium, although they lose 3 more friends in the process. Hari is relieved to finally meet her brother, Woo-jin, who's among the remaining survivors. They all hide inside the storage room where there are large metal carts and other athletic equipment. Since they're the only ones alive, they all decide to leave the school. They fashion a barricade out of the carts to protect them as they reach for the exit. Jun-young sacrifices himself after his hand gets bitten, and he helps the others push the barricade towards the door. Right in the nick of time, Soju opens the door and he reunites him with his daughter, An-jo, and saves the students. Soju directs them towards a nearby construction site before sacrificing himself to let them have a head start. Simultaneously, inside the encampment, Commander Jin authorizes the bombing of key places in Hyosan, including the school. The students take refuge inside the construction site where they get ambushed by Gwi-nam. Seriously, it's annoying how this guy never dies. He bites Cheong-san. Knowing this is his end, he says goodbye to An-jo before facing Gwi-nam. The group manages to escape just as the bombs land on the site, causing a huge explosion. An-jo mourns the loss of her father and Cheong-san, but they have to continue moving forward. They arrive at the nearby neighborhood, which feels eerie with its quietness. Out of nowhere, a horde of zombies attacks them. Woo-jin gets bitten, necessitating Namra to end him. However, she feels the virus taking control of her impulses. She almost bites An-jo before managing to stop herself. She decides to get away from the group for good. The remaining survivors, An-jo, Su-hyeok, Dae-soo, Hyo-ryung, Hari, and Mi-jin, finally arrive at a military checkpoint and are rescued. Although now safe, they are greatly traumatized by the events. 4 months later, the survivors decide to sneak out and go to the school's rooftop where they saw a campfire. They discover that Namra is still alive and looking well. She reveals to them that there are also halfbies like her who survived the bombing. And that's basically it for Season 1 of All of Us Dead. Netflix has greenlit a Season 2, which is presumed to air late in 2026. What are the theories you want to confirm in Season 2? Share your thoughts in the comment section and see you in the next recap.